Hello, my name is Lyndsey. I'm here with Dale and we are going to talk about cyberstalking. How are you, Dale?
I'm grand, thanks. How are you?
Not too bad. So Dale, can you tell me what cyberstalking is?
So cyberstalking, a lot of people don't know the proper definition behind it. It can be seen as quite like cyberbullying in the fact that it's an electronic means of constantly checking up on a person.
Mm-hmm.
Can also be through emailing them constantly.
Uh-huh.
And that's what a lot of people, you see getting lots of emails from people that they don't want, or Facebook messages. That can also be seen as a type of stalking.
Mm-hmm. When I hear cyberstalking, I sometimes would think of it as quite sort of harmless. To me, I would just think of it as sort of going into people's Facebook accounts and maybe having a wee nosy and sort of looking around. I wouldn't think of it as meant to be malicious or with an intent of sort of harassing anybody. I also get into the mindset of thinking, well, if they didn't want me to see it, they shouldn't have it on Facebook or public for people to see.
Yeah, well, it's the sort of thing that when you post something on Facebook, you're posting it because you want somebody to know, you want people to see it.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're when you're signing up to Facebook and plenty of other social medias as well, it asks you sort of age.
Yeah.
So it's a name, age. They need a email address to verify
Mm-hmm.
that if there is a problem with your Facebook account, that you can use that email to get your password and everything back. But as soon as you've put them details in, they're on your profile.
Yeah.
And you can hide them, and a lot of people have. But a lot of people put them in at that sign up stage and forget to take them off, and they're
That's right.
up there.
Mm-hmm.
It also lists sort of like personal interests,
Yeah.
sort of favourite music, favourite sports,
Mm-hmm.
Political views and religion as well. A lot of people do them once, even if they don't have something.
Yeah, they don't have like even a smart comment or something
Yeah.
in there, don't they? But just sort of when you were saying people put stuff up because they want someone to see it. I think what we forget sometimes is you have the close friends and family that you add on Facebook, and then you have acquaintances and people through work and stuff like that. So you kind of forget yourself, don't you? You post something up because you want a certain amount of people to see it, and you forget that the rest of them is going to see it as well.
Yeah, it always starts on Facebook. The first sort of people you add is your family and close friends. And then obviously if you start using it for 2 or 3 years down the line, by that time you've probably added work, like a friend a friend of a friend, even somebody that you've talked to once. And you've only talked to them once, so you don't know enough about them.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest, you don't know who that person actually is.
Yeah. So you were saying about the information that people are putting on Facebook or other social media sites. What kind of problems can occur with them putting that type of information on? If they have somebody stalking them, what are they doing basically?
Well, with a lot of people, they don't sort of see that immediate, that it's not somebody's going to be stalking me.
Mm-hmm.
This information's up here. I think the biggest one is phone number.
Yeah.
It's one that people put up. You've given away your information voluntarily on Facebook or these social medias, and now that will affect your lifestyle and that online identity you have through Facebook. Now they can bring that into it's not online anymore, that they've taken. Like if they do burgle to your house or something, you could come back and that's all gone just because you posted a few things online.
That's right. And what, Dale, what is meant by online footprint?
So whenever you post a photograph, a video, any piece of text, even if it's a singular word, that's documented online to whatever social media, so Facebook, and Facebook now own that photograph, own that video, and the copyright and claims to it. But that also has to go through most of the search engines, so Google being the biggest search engine. That one has, when Facebook has a photograph, Google also has that photograph as well.
Right.
So it's a sort of, once you've posted something online, it's always going to be there because it's owned by somebody else now. And a Facebook profile picture, so if you were to take your profile picture, set it as there, put it on Facebook. If I was to take that picture and put it into Google search, that will show me where online it is.
There you go.
So, and it would give me.
And would you recommend that people do that regularly to?
Well, there's always the sort of thing as, yes, on Facebook you should update your profile picture regularly, so you're not going to have a picture of you as your profile picture when you were like 20, if maybe you're in your 40s or 50s, of course you've got to update it regularly. But it's the privacy and how you keep your account locked down is what you need to be care of.
Okay. So we were just chatting there about sort of how you can give out the information and how burglars can get it, or other people can get access to it and put yourself and your family at risk. But looking at it from the other side, from somebody who would be stalking, like I say, I would look at it and think, oh, it's harmless, I'm going to go onto Facebook, have a wee look, see what everybody's up to. Do you think it stops at that?
You never know sort of where it would stop at. It always depends on who is doing the stalking. You might go onto your friend's Facebook account and see they're going away to Turkey and they've allowed you to see that, but if it's the stalking they've planned, they're going to do this and that, then you don't know how far the extent of what they're doing is going to go.
Yeah.
With things like people taking that information and doing harm to you in your actual life, as in taking things, or there's also the fact that your online identity as well can be messed with. So people can have a look through your profile and they see you've got a dog. This is the name of your dog. Now what's your password?
Yeah.
Let's type in the dog's name. If they've got your email address, which they can do, so for instance that I've got most of my friends' email addresses because of Facebook, I can have a guess into your email address through dog's name. Mother's maiden name is very easy because all I have to do is look.
Yeah, and a lot of people put a lot of posts up now, RIP, you know, granny or granda and stuff like that there, and they're giving their name, so it's giving all that previous information as well, you know, as far as maiden names and all go. And then as far as the kids' date of births go, this is their first birthday, this is their second birthday, this is the third, you know, so that information is quite easy to get as well. And I know a lot of credit card companies would ask for a child's date of birth, your child's date of birth, as security.
Yeah, I know the security for my one or something would be things like you need to give a date of birth, you need to give mother's maiden name, you need to then give your name. That's why passwords now, they always say they recommend first letters are capital, or any letters are capital, sorry, the first letter is the one that people, I'd say 90% of people will choose as their capital letter as the first one, because it makes the sense of a capital letter being the start of a sentence, being
and
the start
then
of
it's
that word.
easier to remember.
So if it's the name of a dog, and then there has to be a number behind it as well, as in these passwords nowadays, you put the first letter as the capital, the rest of them, and then you have a number which could be 1, 2, 3, or it can be a 2-digit number. And that sort of number combination of 1 or a 2-digit number, there isn't so many combinations you have to go through. But that's why any suggestion I would have for a password would be like my password, which is it's not a word at all. It's a complete combination of random letters and random numbers. Then there's more than one capital letter, and that's spread throughout the whole thing.
But well, you know, what if somebody says, well, how am I supposed to remember that? And you've got so many different sites now, because you've got your shopping sites, and you've got your banking, you've got your social media sites, And any app and anything that you have to download now, you need all that. You always have to set up another password. So if I've got a combination of letters and numbers and a couple of them are capital, how am I supposed to remember that?
Now, a lot of people, that's the one thing whenever I mention my password being that complex, I'm pretty good at remembering it. I've never forgotten my passwords for anything. But I do have one way of keeping it myself, which isn't the most reliable way, but it is very handy, and that's to have a master password that is not used on any internet site, that you do not use for anything apart from its single use of having a Word document on your computer, putting the passwords that you need to remember on that, locking it, and then and using that password as the password to open it. You can let Windows, I know Windows, Macs and Linux will allow you to encrypt it as well, which means if somebody hacks into your computer, they will most likely get it in the end, but it will take them several hours, several days.
If it's going to take them that much time, it's going to do then they're going to try somebody that's much easier to hack into, obviously,
They might carry on, which is why the safest way is always to have a physical book or a sticky note, and have that in a safe place where nobody is, like your children or something, is going to wander around and find that.
Yeah.
Because if it's not online, nobody can hack in and nobody can get it.
But then what if you've told everybody you went to Turkey and they break into your house and you've got a book with all your passwords in it?
Well, that's obviously it's a bit hard. You can't do one thing to keep yourself safe and allow everyone to have that other notice.
Okay, so there is a couple of wee tips there. You were saying about the master password and having a Word document. That's all fine, but if you don't know how to do that, is it easy to learn?
It is very easy to learn if you can open Word.
Yeah.
And you put the passwords in as if you're just typing a normal document. There's the option to save it. Once it's saved, you literally have to click on it, and the option is there.
So you just right click on it.
And if you can't do it, then I would always suggest stick for the physical copy of it.
Yeah.